Hey guys, I'm your host DJ.
And I'm your host Sav.
And we're back with another episode of Deeper Than Most.
Yes, and today we are back with episode 38.
38 episodes. And you know what that means. You have 37 other episodes to check out.
Yes, and while we're on the topic of checking things out, if you haven't heard already, we are running a giveaway.
For the entire month of October. And guys, it is getting to crunch time.
Yeah, it is. There's 1 week left. And we will be announcing the winner within a week. And honestly, guys, you should definitely get on the bandwagon, get on the train, and enter the giveaway. Because there's literally only like 2 entries right now.
Come on.
So the odds of winning are definitely in your favor. And yeah.
Woo. So, this is another FNC installment.
It is. And this is part 17.
17.
I'm feeling 17 again.
Yeah. 17 again.
Oh, yes. So where are we today?
We're in Kentucky.
Ooh.
No fried chicken this time.
I've lived in Kentucky before.
Nice. How
For
was
a
it?
couple of years. Well, I was a teenager, so it was all right.
It was what it was.
Yeah, it was what it
I
was.
feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. And on top of that, we're going to be covering the murder of Betty Gail Brown. So
This happened when?
This happened in 1961.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we have the redose of the most today. I know the last couple of episodes we weren't adding any doses of the most. Just because there really wasn't anything good or worth adding.
Happening real.
Yeah, so we are coming back tenfold with our dose of the most segment, and we've got some pretty groundbreaking information today.
For sure.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, to me, this is insane. This is groundbreaking.
It definitely is. It's nice to see, so I'm excited about it. Ooh, our first one. Berenstein Bear. So, on October 19th, a man got photos of a bear that wandered into his family's home and messed up his son's gaming computer.
Do you know how pissed I would be?
Bruh.
Gaming computers
cost too
expensive.
much goddamn money.
Yeah, especially these days.
God. He immediately got his dogs to safety, and when he returned to the garage, the bear was gone. Or so he thought. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. He realized the bear was in the home when his 10-year-old son told him he heard scratching sounds inside. Oh my God. The bear had crawled back in through a window and he saw the bear walk across the hall to his son's room.
Walk across the hall.
Just casual, just strolling along through the hallway.
Oh, like I said last night, the bear was sitting there popping some popcorn,
doing the bear
getting
necessities.
Comfortable. Right. Got his feet up, laying on the couch.
That's crazy.
Turning on some Netflix, watching you.
I wonder why he got mad and tore up that kid's computer, though.
Because he was probably like, fuck this shit. You don't need it. Ungrateful kids.
Literally. The man got help from a neighbor to barricade the door and allow the bear to leave back out the window. The damage to the home was minimal except for the ruined computer and some cereal that the bear ate, which was left out.
Look, eating good. Ate some cereal.
Chilling.
I wonder if he had some milk with it.
Played some games. Ate some cereal. Chilled probably sat on the bed for a little bit.
Chilling, like Goldilocks, but girly locks, I guess. Yeah.
The bear said, "I'm gonna come to your home."
The Berenstein Bear. He said, "Who? It's the bare necessities. What you mean?" So yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
There was a lot of animal news.
Bruh, I don't know.
All these animals on the loose.
Man, look, I don't know what's going on, but y'all need to get y'all animals and keep them in line.
It feel like Jumanji.
Literally. Y'all out here playing.
So our second little dose of the most is called Ball Bath. A new development in Germany has sparked conversation around the world and earning the German Dyson Prize. Now,
Sweet.
I don't know what the Dyson Prize is, but it sounds
I feel like
fancy.
I don't know what it is either, but I'm guessing it's
I'm guessing it's an
like
invention prize.
Yeah, like a patent prize or something like that.
Yeah, this little topic, it is about an invention. So I think that the prize is, like you said, a patent or Just a prize for inventing something amazing.
That's cool as hell, though.
Yeah. So Rebecca Weiss, an industrial design graduate from the University of Munich, invented the COSO, or the SOSO. I don't know how to say it, but it's COSO.
I guess we could go with COSO.
COSO. And the COSO is a male birth control device.
Yo, and it looks pretty cool though. Like, we're gonna insert some pictures of it. It looks pretty cool.
It does.
Just put your nuts in it, and you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, and the fact that it's like a birth control that's a device itself is different, because most birth control is like manual, I guess you could say, like
either
pills,
pill or
condoms,
implant
those types of things. But the fact that it's like an electronic device that actually is a contraceptive is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
So this thing is really cool. The COSO uses an ultrasound testicle bath that temporarily stops the mobility of sperm. Like, that is just so amazing. That is so amazing. And how do you even
and essentially just like
come up with something like that? You just freeze it. Yeah.
Just
like
warming up your boys until, it's like...
Yeah, pretty much, where they think they're already in a little womb.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so cool because I feel like something like this wouldn't negatively affect somebody.
No, I
like
think
a man,
it definitely has more benefits.
And your sperm is still useful afterwards. If you decide to stop using it, then boom, like, you could still have kids. Like, I don't know, I think that's amazing.
It's cool as hell.
Yes.
It's cool.
And it's very groundbreaking because all contraceptives, I mean, except for condoms, if you really want to count that, are for women. Right. And women are always the ones having to reconstruct and mold and shape our body into a way that fits. Into a way that fits society and kind of what, so the overseers want. So it is nice to have something that men can use to where women aren't forced to be on contraceptives all the time, because that's how it's been since the beginning of time. Right. So I feel like this would be a great option for couples that struggle, like women that struggle on birth control. So boom, there's an option. Let your man do it,
Here,
like
put
that
your
type
nuts
of...
in here. And it's just cool. Like, when I saw it and when you showed that to me, I was like, oh, wow, I didn't think they were actually going to do it. They did it. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, they were trying to find one for men, and they realized that there weren't any for men.
None.
Yeah, so they were like, you know what, we're gonna make our own.
I mean, because like when it comes to like male birth control, there are like suggestions, but they aren't just like flat out.
But like, what male birth control is there out there?
That's what I'm saying.
There isn't any.
That's what I'm saying. There aren't any like actual solutions. They're just suggestions.
Exactly. I haven't even heard suggestions though.
There are plenty. They usually tell you like, sit in hot water for a while, or like, XYZ type stuff.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
It's the stuff people don't talk about. So the device only needs to be used once every few months to be effective. And the device is designed to prevent sperm from fertilizing eggs during penetrative sex. So yeah, I love the fact that you can use it to your own leisure. Like, you only need to use it every once in a while as well. Think about birth control pills. Like, this is a game changer, because think about birth control pills. That's a daily activity, multiple times a day.
Multiple times a day.
And if you miss one, that's it. So, I don't know. Like, this is just amazing to me. This is really
cool
a huge development, I would say, in technology.
Super excited
even.
To see, hell yeah. I'm super excited to see, like, how far it goes. And,
and what this can, inspire,
different, for sure.
So, yeah, that's amazing. So, hey, go to Germany. Next time you're in Germany, get a ball bath.
Germany does a lot of interesting shit.
Yeah, it's so interesting that Germany's the first to do it, too.
There's this, and then there's that freaking G-Force roller coaster that they have for old people.
Oh, the one that kills you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, other countries get it right. Whatever.
Get it right every time.
So, now we're going to get into our third and final dose of the most. And this one is titled The Herd. Oh, I like that.
It sounds like a scary movie. The Herd.
A herd of bison was caught galloping towards a few tourists while visiting the Yellowstone National Park.
No, this shit is, honestly funny.
Oh, my God.
And there's a video of it, so we might, if we're able to, we'll insert, the video.
That's hilarious.
But this is some, Lion's King type shit.
The tourists, who were caught off guard and scared, ran over a bridge in search of safety while another tourist recorded the whole ordeal. Damn, that's crazy. Just imagine just chilling out and at the park, and then you just see these big ass fucking
a fucking herd of bison.
God.
Bison are huge
Fucking
individually, so
ginormous.
just a big ass group of them. That's like a herd of elephants running at your ass. What are you gonna do?
Run away. That's all you can do. Kylie Olsen and her family were driving toward the bridge when they saw a couple walk into their car. When all of a sudden, a cloud of dust started to rise from the trees. Damn.
Right?
I would have turned the fuck around.
I would think, oh shit, it's the rapture.
Yeah.
God damn. Oh shit, Lord, don't take me now.
God.
Cause what the hell?
Literally, bro. What the fuck?
Dust, you just sit there in the car and just imagine, like, looking off to the distance and you just see dust just coming from the
fuck is
trees.
going on out here?
Hell no. Ground start rumbling. Nah.
So that's what be going on out there.
Right.
And then a herd of bison went for the roadway, causing the couple to turn around and run. Oof.
They did make it to safety, though.
That's good. That's good. Because, oh my God.
But damn, I'd be shitting bricks.
Super.
Literally.
A whole house.
Damn. That was our dose of the most. And now we're going to roll into today's case, which is very, like the details of this case that you told me, I'm just...
Yeah. Yeah. And it sucks because
I'm just suspicious about certain details.
Right.
So Betty was murdered on October 27th, 1961 in Lexington, Kentucky around the Transylvania University. And if you're not familiar with Kentucky, Lexington and Louisville are kind of like the bigger cities of the state. And then you got like smaller ones like Bowling Green and like all those other places, but this is supposed to be like a pretty big area. So just imagine that the college is probably big as well, especially being a university.
Right.
So, he's so cute. So who was Betty? Betty had doe eyes, so very large eyes, and Breck girl hair. And if you don't know what Breck is another term for curly hair.
Yeah.
Well, she was a brunette.
Yeah. And the reason that it's even called Breck girl hair is because from 1946 to like early 1950, there was this shampoo company called Breck Shampoo, and the cover girl had super curly hair, and so
okay, so that was just like all the that was pretty much the trend.
Yeah,
back
that
then.
was the trend for them.
She was a 19-year-old French major and sophomore at Transylvania University. A French major? Wow. That sounds fun.
It sounds fun. It's pretty cool.
Wow, that's interesting. Like, what do you do with that?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I wonder, like, what do you...
I feel dumb, but like, damn. So Betty was a member of Phi Mu sorority. Is that how you say that shit? I don't know anything about Greek life.
Right. You said it right.
Okay, Phi Mu sorority. And I feel like that's very important when it comes down to these things because it's just not talked about as much as it should be. Like, we should know about the victim and who they were and how loved they were and just the legacy that they had left behind.
Yeah, just to get to know them. Because,
but it sounds like she had a great life ahead of her. Like for sure.
Yeah. Oof. And now we're going to get into the discovery and how everything went down. So, on the night of October 26th, Betty was having a biology study session in Fourier Hall, or is it Fourier? Fourier Hall with her friends, and when she finished, she was supposed to be heading home, but she never made it. Ooh, and that's got to be, like, heart-wrenching for, like, family.
Yeah, because, like, how do you were just with people.
Right.
And then you part ways to go home, and then nobody ever sees you again.
Right. Fourier Hall had a house mother that took note of people coming and going, and it was documented that Betty left around midnight.
And she never returned.
Never returned.
Wow, okay. That's kind of interesting that they have a house mother. So that means she lived on campus.
No.
So then what's a house mother?
A house mother is someone that stays in the sorority house, more than likely, or wherever.
That's what she lived in, the sorority, right?
No, she didn't.
So why are they keeping track of her?
They keeping track of most people, but I mean, if you're gonna,
So where'd she live?
She's like 7 minutes away from the school.
Like with who though?
With
her own
parents.
apartment? Oh.
At 3 a.m., a Lexington policeman found Betty in her French Simca car in the driveway of Transy's old Morrison building, strangled to death with her own bra.
That is crazy. If you think about the time slots, this is a really short window.
Yeah. And
left the sorority. So what was she doing at the sorority, like, if she doesn't live there?
She was studying. That's where...
Oh, okay. So she was studying at the sorority and left the sorority at midnight.
To go home.
Okay. And then 3 a.m. rolls around and she's still nowhere to be found.
And it's also important to note that she was actually dead around like 1 o'clock. So they didn't find her until like 2 hours later.
That's a quick ass turnaround though.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta give it to them. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You know, like, she wasn't missing for a long ass time. Like, they got to, I don't want to say the bottom of things because this case is unsolved, but I think
they tried their best to
with
get
what
on
they had. Yeah. And one thing that really stands out to me is her being strangled to death with her own bra.
Yeah.
Very graphic, and it seems so personal in a sense, and just, I don't know, very close, like a close encounter. But it also reminds me of Ted Bundy and the types of things he would do to his victims.
Enough, you'll see how that comes into play later on.
Yeah, that's just very odd. And you know, Ted Bundy was all around. He was traveling, so shit, you never know. But was this even around the same time? I don't think so.
I don't believe it was around the same time, but Brown was a commuter student who lived with her parents on Lackawanna Road, which is only 7 minutes away from Transy. So on the night of her disappearance, a witness said he saw Betty's car headed south down Upper Street, which is maybe 10 minutes away from Lackawanna. So she was going completely the other way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Possibly going to meet somebody or... Because what else would it be after midnight?
Right, like... What could it be, you know?
Yeah.
And nobody even knows. Nobody has any clue of, like, you know.
That's so weird.
Why she went that way or anything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, who's to tell? Who's to say anything?
Right.
Damn. That's suspicious as hell. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Lisa Al almost. You know?
Almost, yeah.
It's just so confusing because it's like, okay... Like, did she part ways and literally was just by herself for the rest of the night? Did she end up meeting somebody else? Right. Kind of like Lisa Out. I mean, at first it wasn't confirmed if she actually had met up with her boyfriend or not, but then it was. But the question was just what happened after the fact when she was alone and driving. Right. What happened?
Right.
So, before we get even deeper with this case, we're going to take the time to thank our sponsors. And
we'll see you soon.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free and it's easy to use.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone or computer, making it the best user experience around.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, making it so you don't have to upload to each individual platform.
And the best thing about it, you can make money straight from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
So please, download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. And that's Anchor.fm, spelled ANCHOR.FM.
So what are you doing? Download the free Anchor app now.
And we're back.
Like a butt crack. So a worried mother leads and dead ends. Betty's mother, Quincy Stanton Brown, knew that her daughter did not normally stay out super late. So she went to search for her herself. So was this the same night?
Yeah, this was the same night.
So my thing is... her mom must have been up.
Yeah, no, her mom...
and, like, expecting her?
Yeah, no, her mom was excited for her to come home. Because, like, she always it was a cold and rainy night, actually, and she was setting up her bed and everything, and she didn't want her to come home to, like, a cold home or anything. Just wanted her to be comfortable, so she was up.
Just being a good mom.
Yeah, just being a good mom, ready for her to come home.
Damn, must be nice. She took 3 trips downtown to search for Betty Gail, but each time she failed to turn into the old Morrison driveway. So she was in the right vicinity. She was in the right area, but just didn't turn down the street that Betty was actually on.
Right.
So she never found her herself.
Right.
Which, honestly, I think that's probably a good thing, because imagine if she would have found her herself. Like, why would you wouldn't want to find your child like that.
Exactly.
So, honestly, I feel like it's kind of a blessing in disguise that she didn't find her.
Right.
Because what are the odds, that you don't turn down that one road?
That's fucking crazy, though.
Yeah.
Like, she went around 3 times.
Yeah.
And each
it sounded like us chasing after that bitch that stole my backpack.
Damn.
On her 3rd and final trip, the policeman that found Betty stopped Quincy and told her the horrific news. So, did the policeman already know Quincy and Betty Gail? Like, how did he know to stop this random lady?
That part was never freaking explained.
Oh, okay. So, I'm assuming that they knew each other.
Yeah, I'm just going to assume that they knew each other. Because I had that same question. I was like, well, how did he even know?
And, yeah, the fact that a policeman even found Betty is pretty interesting. Investigators interviewed every male student and faculty member at Transy, but no leads came out of it. Honestly, I don't really like that.
Yeah.
Only male? Like, only the guys? What? A woman could have did this.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally chopping off half your chances if a woman did do this.
Right.
And that's probably why no leads came out of it. Because what if it wasn't even a guy?
Right.
They even followed the smallest connections and possible leads. One of these minor leads led to a Transy alum. This man was arrested for cross-dressing, and upon searching his home, they found clippings of Betty's case. They would arrest people for cross-dressing?
Well, it was the 60s, and,
I didn't know that it was an arrestable
offense. Yeah. I didn't think so either, but
the more you know.
Yeah.
Okay, but to make it clear, the alum, the dude that moved to New York, he had graduated from the university a year prior to Betty. So he wasn't in Betty's graduating class, he was the year before hers. But he was already in New York, so I don't know how they even made a connection.
The case became one of those cases that got, like, super widespread, so everybody was talking about it. But, of course, the transit community, like...
I just don't understand how a man in New York could commit a crime in Kentucky.
I don't know either.
But it is odd that they found, like, newspaper clippings of her case in his home. Mm-hmm. He's trying to keep up with it or something.
Right.
So they investigated further and found that another alum had sent the clippings to the man in New York. That is suspicious as hell.
Right.
Because who's the alum that sent the clippings and why?
Yeah. Well, I guess the Transylvania college community is, like, close or whatever, and they were just like, dude, look what happened at the college or whatever.
True. Yeah. But still, that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a widespread case, like you said, he would have heard it.
Right, he would have heard it, yeah. So now, we look at a drunken confession. It had been 5 years, and the police were not able to come up with any leads. So, a local drunk named Alex Arnold confessed to murdering Betty, although his story has never been confirmed or refuted.
How, though? Like, how do they decide if it's, like, legit or not?
Honestly, I don't know.
I mean, I guess they didn't take him serious because he was a local drunk.
Right.
But
I mean, they took him serious enough to actually take him to trial.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. He claimed to be searching for somewhere to sleep after hanging at his favorite bar. He allegedly went to Gratz Park, but left because it was too crowded.
To sleep there?
Yeah, he said he was looking for somewhere to sleep.
Oh, so he was homeless.
No, he was probably just drunk.
Oh.
This is where he wanders onto the Transy campus to find Betty in a very interesting situation, or at least that's what he claims.
So, drunken rage. Arnold claims he saw Betty with an unidentified woman sitting in her car on Old Morrison. What I said! A woman! He asked him for a match, and he says the woman began cursing at him, so he walked away. But he, quickly returned, and once he returned, Arnold went into detail of how he yanked open the door to the car and fought with Betty, resulting in him strangling her with her bra and then tucking her shirt into her pants and leaving campus. What was the point of him tucking her shirt in?
Because he felt that, like, if he did that...
I can't just leave her any kind of way.
Right. So it wouldn't seem like it was a sexual assault or anything if he was caught and they tried to charge him with murder.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Betty Gail did not suffer any sexual assault, according to the autopsy report. Her purse was found untouched, and her notes and books were undisturbed, but her keys were flung into the back seat. Okay, so what stands out to me about this is if all this happened like he claimed, where was the other woman during all of this?
Yeah.
How did this transpire with another person there? And also, how come this person did not come forward and confirm
anything? Yeah.
So I could see why they thought that this was a lie. And then who was the other person?
Literally.
Nobody said I was with Betty when she died.
Right.
Huh.
The trial and error. When Arnold confessed, all of Kentucky was hooked on the case. The interesting part about the case is that the reports in the papers and Arnold's confession were the only evidence that anyone had.
Yeah, that's... Damn.
Yeah.
The only evidence?
Yeah.
Was just this nigga's drunken confession? Like...
Yep.
Ooh.
And the thing that's actually...
hard.
Yeah.
To work with,
Super hard to work with. And the thing that actually attracted everybody was the fact that Arnold claimed Betty was with another woman.
But, like, my thing... sexually.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, like... Where's the other woman?
Where is she at?
Who, and if there was another person, how come the other person isn't deceased as well? Or how come that person did not come forward?
Right.
How are you getting away with this and nobody's, like, corroborating your story?
Right.
That is just so... It's a mind fuck. I hate it. I hate cases like this where the details are just so vague, but, like, the details that you have don't make sense. So it almost just seems like the details are just useless, Right. And you only have so many details. Like, you don't have a lot already.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so the ones that you do have, they're not even adding up. They're not lining up at all. Yeah.
Arnold recanted his confession at trial and tried to claim that he may have dreamed the entire thing.
Oh, Jesus. That just made my head hurt.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Deadass. Arnold being a habitual drunk, it was believed that he simply read the papers and tried to connect himself to it.
This sounds like Frank Gallagher.
Yeah.
Just doing shit just to do it.
Shit. Yeah, literally.
Like, wasting so much time and money and effort. And, like, whoa, like, they could have been devoting that time, devoting that money, those resources, the investigation, all of that into a real lead and not just some random ass drunk guy, the local drunk. Like, that's so frustrating. Imagine being a police officer. You're sitting here tirelessly working
right now. You're serious,
right? You're sitting here thinking that, all right, we're gonna crack this case, and then
whole time you don't know.
Working overtime, do all this other stuff, and then when you get to the trial, this nigga say this.
You're serious.
I would be so devastated, especially being her mother. Like, I would be so devastated. Why would you lie about that?
Right.
Why? What do you get out of it? What's the point?
Right.
Honestly.
And even, so he was, held in jail until the trial or whatever. Mm-hmm. So what happened was Quincy did visit him, and she was like, "You didn't kill my daughter." Like...
Oh, she could tell, or
she just
had a feeling?
Just had a feeling. She was like, "You didn't kill my daughter."
Wow. The fact that she went to visit him is interesting. Probably to see. You know?
Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Get her own justice.
Yeah. The trial ended in a hung jury decision. 7 for acquittal and 5 for conviction.
Ooh.
They really was trying to get this nigga off the streets.
I swear. But, like, damn. It's tough when it's divided like that.
Yeah, super tough.
And this was a 12-man jury,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. So, a likely suspect, there was another suspect by the name of Nolan Ray George. He was a serial killer with Ted Bundy-like charm who murdered women in Ohio, Kentucky, and Michigan around the 80s. That's weird. And I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
Wow. Interesting. So he was like Ted Bundy 2.0.
Yeah.
Because this was after Ted.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
That's weird.
He was never questioned, but his signature killing style matched with the way Betty was murdered. But, like, so does Ted Bundy's. But then again, by this time, Ted Bundy was out of here, you know? So, that is interesting as hell. All of his victims were beautiful young women who were strangled by an article of their own clothing. In 1968, Nolan was charged with first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison in 2001. 2011. Wait. How the hell was he charged with first-degree murder back in 68 but didn't get sentenced to life until 2011?
Yeah, because he didn't even get... I know, that was weird to me, too. Because he didn't
That doesn't even make sense. How is that even possible?
He didn't even get parole until, like, the late 90s. But I don't know how it jumped to him getting life in 2011.
So that means, what did he have when he was first charged?
Yeah. I don't know.
What was he charged with?
First-degree murder, that's what they said.
First-degree murder calls for life in prison or death. Right. So how the hell...
I don't know why.
Was he not
Yeah, I don't know
sentenced to life in 68 when he was charged with first-degree murder?
I don't know why it took that long. Yeah.
And then why was he in jail for so long, just in jail?
Mm-hmm. Questions.
None of this makes sense, y'all. Like, nothing in this case makes any sense. So, just to be clear, Nolan was charged with first-degree murder. And during, the time from 1968 to 2011, he was behind bars during that whole time frame. But he wasn't officially sentenced to a life... Well, okay. He wasn't officially given a life sentence until that 2011 mark. So he was already in jail serving his time, but they just didn't give him life until 2011. So I don't even know what they charged him for. Like, I don't understand what they told him, 30 years? I don't understand.
Right, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know.
That's so weird.
That was Betty Gail Brown. And honestly, the case didn't lead anywhere. They still don't know who did it. A lot of people think Betty's mom could have done it, which honestly...
Why?
Yeah.
For what?
They just threw her out there as
the
a suspect.
Fucking media, honestly.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it was the drunk, but that Nolan guy seems pretty plausible.
Yeah.
Pretty damn plausible. Especially with no evidence or anything behind, no witnesses, anything that has to be able to carry out a crime with precision and get it done right the first time. And cover your own tracks. You've had to have done it before. There's no way a first time murderer or whatever you want to call it can just easily get away with it successfully, forever. Just literally get away with killing somebody. It's very hard. So the fact that her case was just left open, it is unsolved, and there's no evidence, that means that somebody probably knew what they were doing when they did this.
Right.
And they've done it before. So, and they were probably going to do it again after.
Right.
So it does make sense that Nolan would be responsible for this. But with all that, we are going to get into our ending questions and share our little thoughts on, just everything, all the details of this. Because nothing makes sense in this case. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy.
Crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Question 1. What do you think really happened? And honestly, to answer it, I don't know. I don't know. There's so many different theories that could be the case, but what do we have?
Like what?
people, the whole just being with a woman theory, that's the thing.
But if she was with a woman, they both would have been killed. And also, it's not odd to see a sorority college girl with another sorority college girl. Like, that's not an odd sighting, especially even back then. It's college, it's sorority. Like, they're your sisters. So, for somebody to assume that it was a romantic relationship between Betty and another woman, they had to have known Betty and this other woman.
Right.
In my opinion. But as far as just, like, the case in general, what I think happened is, I think it is plausible that Nolan could have had something to do with this. I don't think that Betty was found with another woman. I don't believe that. Because nothing about that makes sense.
There was no trace of the other woman.
No woman came forward, and it's 2021 now. No woman has ever came forward still, and like it's okay to come out about shit like that.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was the drunk. I don't think it was her mom. I don't think it was because she was found with a woman.
Right.
I think that somebody took this moment, this opportunity. You know, maybe she pulled over, like, to, I don't know, make sure she had all her books, or I would say to, like, be on her phone, but they didn't have phones back then. Right. But, you know, maybe she had, like, stopped down that driveway on Old Morrison just to...
Yeah, I just want to know why. Like,
who knows?
That's the only question, like, why?
Or possibly she was turning down that road and saw somebody and they stopped her and, you know, started a conversation. And then that's when it, you know, took a turn for the worse. But we don't know. We don't know anything. So we're kind of just stuck with that. The second question is, do you believe that Betty could eventually get justice? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And I hate that, but like,
yeah, I don't think so.
How? Like, what are you gonna go off of? Especially if nobody's coming forward. She was on campus when this happened, right?
Well, she was around
or near
campus. Yeah,
near campus, and like no protection whatsoever, no witnesses, nothing. My thing too is now the police officers seem a little suspicious also, because a police officer would know how to do a crime like this and not get caught as well, because they're a police officer, they know how shit works. But also the police officer found her oddly quickly after the fact, and because he was in the vicinity. Right. But if he was in the vicinity, how did he not see anybody fleeing the area? How did he not hear any commotion? How did he not see a suspicious car parked on Old Morrison? Like,
there was no record of like bringing the policeman in trial or none of that. Like nothing.
And then also, when he found Betty's body, you didn't put any details in about him having the rest of the police force out there, investigators.
Nope, there was none of that.
Nothing. So
none of that.
The first thing he does is stop her mom and talks to her.
Right. You didn't call backup. You didn't,
Nothing.
Nothing.
That is weird as fuck. So maybe it was the police officer. You don't know.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Question 3. Do you think Nolan may have been responsible?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a strong possibility.
Yeah, because if we can say that it's possible it could have been a police officer, then I think it's possible it could have been Nolan. Yeah. If a lot of people believe that it could have been that homeless man, then it could have been Nolan. So, yeah. As far as the alum student or the alum guy that lived in New York, I don't think
completely impossible.
Yeah. Because how can you kill somebody in Kentucky when you're in New York?
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
Way across the country, dude.
Well, not way across. I mean, they are
far enough.
Fairly close, but not close enough. It's not like coming from Washington down here. It's not like a 2-hour drive or anything.
I'm saying it's far enough. So, like, why would you even... But yeah, man, that's Betty Gail Brown.
That is a frustrating case.
Super. Because, like, what
not
the fuck happened?
Not a fan. I hate that shit.
And it sucks because, like, this is the 60s. They didn't have, DNA evidence.
Nothing.
So none of that. So if somebody just turned up dead, they were just dead.
Yeah. And it's crazy because it almost feels like that still happens today.
Right.
You know? Somebody turns up dead, they just turn up dead. And that's that. There's so many cases that just, I don't even want to get into it, but there's so many cases that end up like this, you know? No answers, no...
I just don't understand, especially in this day and age, too. Like,
How does it happen? All the surveillance footage everywhere, CCTV, witnesses, people out and about all the time, people on their phone recording things, like...
Just not getting it, bro.
It's harder to get...
Don't nobody see shit.
Yeah, it's harder to get away with, you know, murdering somebody these days. I mean, yeah, sure, it's still possible, but I also feel like that's probably why serial killers aren't really a thing in today's day and age. Like,
right.
When's the last time you've heard of a straight up serial killer going out here with a string of murders and getting away with it for a while and then eventually being caught? Like the Ted Bundys and the Jeffrey Dahmers and, you know, the...
Sam Littles and...
Exactly. The David Parker Rays. Like,
right.
all of that. It's not really a thing. It's a thing of the past because we have gotten so technologically advanced. It's hard to carry something out like that because now it's easier to keep up with people's tracks as they're on their tracks.
Even like the streetlights, they have like surveillance cameras in those.
Everything. So, like, stoplights, everything. Literally. Walking past buildings down the street, the buildings have their own cameras and security. Yeah. So it's just a lot harder to carry out crimes like this, which is why I feel like more often than not these days we come across crimes of, you know, passion and close encounters, like people that you know, you know, these days, as opposed to just random murderers on the loose. You know, a lot of times these days you hear of the spouse or a friend or a family member or, you know, whatever the case may be, being responsible for taking people's lives. But that just wasn't the case back then. It's just so interesting how things change.
Right.
You know, that's really what I'm trying to get to. And I just find it so interesting that serial killers are kind of a thing of the past now. Like, what's the most recent serial killer you've heard of? Not in this day and age. We don't have serial killers.
We don't have them.
I mean, yeah, we have, like, terrorists and people that do mass, attacks and shit like that. We don't have
people that's just going around here just, like
a string of murders. Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird. Tell us your thoughts, guys. Tell us your thoughts on this case. Tell us your thoughts on the whole serial killer epidemic. Like, it is a thing of the past, I think.
Do you? Disappeared. Like,
yeah. I feel like it's harder to carry out such a... I don't know. It's a time-consuming task.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
you gotta kill him. You gotta hide the body or
cover evidence. Come up with alibis. Yeah. It's just a lot. It's a lot. I don't understand. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with today's case, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say. This is just, I'm speechless. This is a really interesting case, but also just frustrating.
Too many goddamn questions.
Yeah.
No answers.
Yeah. Per usual, you know, that's just how it is.
That's the norm here on Deeper Than Most.
It really is. With this FNC series, it really is. I don't know if you guys have caught on yet, but in the FNC series, all of these cases are unsolved. That's why they're the most notorious in every state, because there's so many questions and not enough answers for all of these cases. And man, we just be feeling it every time because it's so true. Like, we're always frustrated in the end.
Like, bro, what the fuck? Nobody does their job.
But sometimes they do. And then like, it's still not enough. Yeah. So, because, you know, you got to give credit sometimes when it's rightfully given.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's all we have today for episode 38. And I don't know if you know, but we know this week is a double upload. And just wait for it. Well, what am I trying to say? Just wait for it. I don't know. Since you just finished watching this or listening to this episode, go ahead and click on to our next one, which is
our nighttime nostalgia episode. And that's
where we talk about... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You already...
Well, I was just trying to say that. Where we talk about Go.
Carrots, the cowardly dog.
Yeah, and it was a good one. It was really, really fun. We roasted marshmallows and
marshmallows, guys.
Did a whole bunch of fun stuff. So yeah, get into that. And next week is gonna be a great one. Next week we have our Halloween special. It's probably gonna be super long, so get excited. We have a lot of fun stuff planned for that episode. It's gonna be jam-packed with a whole bunch of shit. So we're excited.
The Spooktober special with DTM.
The Spooktober special.
Join us.
Yes, exactly. What did we call this? The spookiest days of October or something? The spookiest days of Halloween?
No, we didn't. We called this the DTM Spooky Corner.
There we go. I keep forgetting. Damn, we should have said, welcome back to the DTM Spooky Corner. Oh, well. We'll just be like, thanks for joining us for the DTM Spooky Corner episode today.
Say it. You already got it out.
Thank you guys for joining us today for our Spooky Corner episode. I guess that's what we're calling our Halloween segments because we don't know what else to call.
What suggestions do you guys have?
Yeah, definitely. Give us give us some suggestions if you have them. Ow! Go ahead, just talk.
And with all that being said, even the owl in there.
No, you're not about to leave it in there, sir. That hurt. My pain. And you just be getting pleasure off of it. Get off of me. What's wrong with you?
And with that being said, guys, I've been your host, DJ.
And I've been your host, Sav.
Catch us next time on Deeper Than Most.